Good morning and welcome to Herb Oracle Podcast, botanical divination with herbs, essences, flowers, and trees with your host, Herbal Marie. Let's start the day off pulling some oracle cards and getting a few messages. We can shoot the shiitake in a spiritual way-ish. And if you follow me on Instagram, I'll post a pic of the cards at Herb Oracle. Thanks so much for joining me. Here we go. Morning. On Wednesdays, we manifest more good stuff, even if we don't feel like it. That's our rule here. So today we're going to manifest more magnificence. And I'm pretty sure I don't have any cards in any of my other decks that have the word magnificence on it. Thank God, because it's a hard word for me to say. So I think we're just going to have one card today and then call it done. And then, God forbid, if at some point I should open up a deck and pull the Magnificent card, which right now in my head, I'm wondering if there's one in the Archangel Michael deck. If I find another one at any point, I will come back and add on to the podcast. Oh my God, you guys. Was yesterday a doozy for you? I was exhausted last night when I went to bed, and I woke up with like actual puffy eyes and like, whoa. So I don't know if my body's just detoxing or if life is just doing a number. But anyways, it's a big day here. It's the 12th of August. That's my best friend's birthday, Asiel the Oracle. Happy birthday to you. You are magnificent. And I'm excited that we have the bird of paradise, this beautiful flower today. And then also other bigness. My son's taking his driver's test this afternoon. Finally, he is 18 now. And he still doesn't want to. I'm like making him. So anyways, he's like real nervous about it. And I said, you know what? Just plan on failing and then you can take it a second time. But I think he'll do fine. We'll see. All right. So, Magnificence. Yeah, I don't feel like going through all of my decks looking for a word that I don't think that I've got it anywhere. I know there in one of the decks there's magnetism, but that's a little different, but similar to magnificence. Yeah, there might be one in the Archangel Michael deck, but like I said, it's just like sometimes you just are like, ugh, I don't want to do that. So we'll just go over this and then we'll be on our way and we'll feel magnificent and we'll manifest more magnificence without actually having to say the word, because do you have trouble with this word? It makes me all slobbery. Magnificence. Yeah, a lot of slurriness could happen in the word magnificence. Magnificent, but magnificence. All right, so anyways, we had a big tarot day yesterday. That was a long podcast, so the universe is like, it's okay, Sadie. It's okay if you just do a shorty. And then, you know what I want to do today? I want to get out there before it's too damn hot and harvest some of my comfrey. So I think I need to drink some comfrey infusions this winter and maybe slap some comfrey on my armpits, because that rash does not want to go away. It's going away, but it's like you can tell like at any point it'd like to come back. So I'm drinking my celery juice. I am gonna do the garlic, like garlic asked me to. And yeah, I'm gonna get my body basically like cleaned out. And I'm thinking some comfrey would assist me right now in life and in future. And it's so dry, so I need to go get it while it's looking lush and get the ones on the side of the house that my dog, I don't think pees on those ones. Or do you? All right. So I'm going to wash them off first, just in case. All right. So anyways, our whole manifest more series was inspired by the deck called Enchanted Blossoms, or Dragon Butterflies by Carla Morrow. And as I when I got this deck, I thought, this is such an awesome deck. This deck is magnificent. I love it so much, and I love like everything in the deck. All the keywords on every single card is something that you would want, right? Like sometimes you get an oracle deck, and yeah, there's some good stuff, but there's also like some stuff that you're like, well, I don't want to manifest abandonment, right? Like, because some decks have words on it that clue you in to maybe some bullshit that's happening in your life. But when I got this deck, I was like, oh my God, abundance, beauty, courage, elegance, friendship, patience, serenity, strength. I mean, I'm going through the alphabet, wisdom. I was like, every card in this deck is something that we would want to manifest more of. And then cha-chang, that's how manifest more happened. So, and we, in our life, we really do want to be manifesting more good stuff. So anyways, that's what inspired the Wednesdays here at Ho for 2020. And I really appreciate our Wednesdays. Like, they're really, I mean, they're good. They're good. They're a good little buffer in between our tarot that hands our ass to us on the weekly. And then Thursday we hang out with the trees, and that's always pretty intense and serious. So Wednesday's kind of nice, like no stress. Like, we're just going to manifest some more magnificence today. That's all. No stress. So I hope you're doing well. I hope that if it's really, really hot where you're at and you don't have an air conditioning and like all day long you have to listen to your neighbors play horrible music and splash in their pool, I hope that you're doing okay with that. I hope that you're not falling into a puddle of resentment. We can't be resenting people and judging people for them living their lives. But yeah, like if they could not blast music that had the N-word in it, that'd be great. Like, white people, turn your fucking music down. Come on, teenagers over there. Like, I just don't even think the gangster N-word music is appropriate for you or the neighborhood. But anyways, so maybe that's why yesterday, like, I was so exhausted when I went to bed because I was like so sick of like dirty bass vibrating the walls of my house. Like, it almost makes you nauseous. And I mix that in with the heat, and I didn't put an air conditioner in this year because I love summer. I love it. But I am like, definitely the last couple weeks, I think a theme with me has, like, I'm being challenged. Like, can you rise above the fuckery around you? Can you manifest something magnificent in your life, even though you're growing in a garden that's not really that magnificent? There are no birds of paradise, growing in my garden. The garden beds are dilapidated. There's poisonous plants growing all around. Like, can you still create magnificence within your life? Even if the analogy of the garden of your life, didn't I shut those windows, is a little bit, is a little bit challenging, is a little bit not fertile, is a little bit like dry and just, whoa, like, it'd be nice to grow plants here in a cute way, but there's no funds. Like, can you still create magnificence in your life regardless? So that's what we're going to do. But before we do that, I'm going to close these windows because I forgot to. And I'm trying to keep the cold air that we brought in through the night in the house because it might be a long day. It might be. So anyways, before we talk about magnificence, let's do our Black Coash affirmations. Who does ask us to dive into our darkness. And she does say, hey, if you're struggling with judging your neighbors and being the bitch, why don't we dive into our darkness and cut some cords and kind of figure out if there's a way, how we can remedy this and, understand this a little bit better so that you can then strive towards the light, just like I do, right? Black cohosh has her black gnarly roots, but at the top of her is that white unicorn horn flower. So it's like, yep, you go down and you do the healing in the roots, and then you still be magnificent, right? So it's like, she's like, I dive into my darkness. Okay, I hang out with Kali Ma, the 8 of Swords, the 5 of Fire, okay? And I still reach for the light. So there are 0 excuses allowed now. Okay, Black Cohosh, I hear ya. I hear ya. This affirmation minute is brought to you by our powerful herb of the week, Black Cohosh, and I lovingly dedicate them all to you. I dive into my darkness and move my energy into light. I heal my feminine energy aspects. I am strong and flexible, and I harness my inner power. I cut cords and transform my purpose to serve me. I am eternally open and free. I dive into my darkness and move my energy into light. I heal my feminine energy aspects. I am strong and flexible, and I harness my inner power. I cut cords and transform my purpose to serve me. I am eternally open and free. And so it is. So the bird of paradise, that's a pretty cool plant, and the butterfly dragon that's on it is a common mother of pearl. Ooh, a common mother of pearl. She looks sweet and delicate. And she's kind of being cute on this card, bending over and kind of looking up, on the big old bird of paradise with its spiky, flaming looking kind of flowers. Also known as the crane flower. Birds of paradise are one of the most unique and magnificent plants grown in gardens today. Initially from South Africa, they spread to Europe in the late 1700s and have since been cultivated around the world. They do very well in sunny, warm weather, and their dense, bushy base and tall flower heads mean they can be used as an ornamental centerpiece as well as a ground cover. So their thick, firm stalks and heads make them perfectly designed for pollination by the songbirds, which perch on the beak-shaped head and drink nectar from the petals. As they drink, the flower opens to release pollen onto the bird's feet and chest, which they then carry from flower to flower. So it really is always magnificent when you think about how just absolutely genius nature is and how it all works together. And the flower is giving the birds nectar, and then as they're snuggling up to the bird of paradise plant, the songbird gets the pollen on their beak and then on their chest, on their feet, they just kind of get it all over them. And then they take it to the next flower, and then the plant, therefore, is pollinated with the help of the little songbird that it just gave it a little drinky snack to. A drinky snack. So anyways, it's quite magnificent when you think of it. And the plant itself is magnificent. And the common mother of pearl She's got her lacy wings on, and she's being magnificent in her own way. So magnificence is defined as impressively beautiful, elaborate, extravagant, and striking. This card challenges you to determine what it means to live a majestic life and to actively go out and live it. How can you live fully and marvelously? How can you live fully and marvelously? So this card of magnificence suggests to do the small things and the large that will bring you to magnificence without any care for what others think. I'm going to repeat that because sometimes you got to hear things twice. And this is our only card. And listen, do the small things and the large that will bring you to magnificence without care for what others think. Incorporate more of what you feel to be glorious into your daily life so that your life is not just great, but magnificent. So it is a challenging card, because especially if you're like, I'm just trying to get through the day. I'm just trying to survive over here. I just want to get the trash taken out and not die of a heat stroke. Okay? And you're asking me to be magnificent. But this card does challenge us to ask ourselves, in what ways am I magnificent? What can I do magnificently? So if you want to manifest more magnificence, which maybe you never thought about manifesting more magnificence, I certainly never thought about saying two difficult M words. What do you do magnificently? Do you even relate to this word at all? I'm just laughing again and again because I'm wearing the same clothes I had on yesterday. I did shower off before I went to bed because I felt so just gross, and I was like, I need to rest, and I passed the fuck out, and I woke up with bedhead. My puffy face is adorned with this gloriously magnificent bedhead, and my hair is just crazy, and I'm I just keep laughing at myself while I'm reading this, because I'm if you could just lay eyes on me and see how not magnificent I am right now. I don't know if I don't really use this word, but why don't we? This is magnificent, darling. So in what ways am I magnificent? Just it definitely is a challenge. So if you're feeling the challenge, I'm right there with you. I'm also feeling a little bit okay, fine, we can manifest more magnificence. However, magnificence is defined as impressively beautiful, elaborate, extravagant, and striking. And I really don't have that in my life. Or I'm maybe not. I'm not that. So it's okay. So, and then that challenges me, because it's yeah, I guess I haven't been living a majestic life or living fully and marvelously. And you know what I mean? I guess, what do I have that's bringing me to a state that's bringing me to magnificence, without having to care for what others think? Okay, I think I'd probably love to do that if there was something that I love to do so much that would make me feel magnificent, and I just did not care what other people be thinking. So anyways, I guess it goes along with the whole Black Cohosh week That's a challenging plant, right? That challenges us to dive into our darkness. Yesterday, the universe definitely challenged us to be our own lovers and fall in love with ourselves and, really get our ducks in a row, didn't it? And so I guess like today's going to be, maybe all week's going to be a challenge. Maybe it's just going to be a challenge week, for us to really evaluate our lives. Are we fully living? I often feel like I'm not fully living. I often feel like I'm not having fun. I often feel like, ugh. So that's where I'm at. But I'm supposed to be uplifting. Shit. I'm supposed to be uplifting you. So let's manifest more magnificence. But I think it does help to be honest. Like, okay, so I guess I have to look at the flip side of magnificence for me to acquire a desire to manifest more magnificence. So I'll start off with just doing the small things that bring me to magnificent, that make me feel marvelous. Okay, I like marvelous a little bit more than magnificent, like the word itself. Like maybe marvelous is on its way to magnificence. So if we can just even start like nudging ourselves in the direction of feeling a little more marvelous and living life a little more fully, and increasing the beauty in our life, the things that we just think are just fabulous looking. So like right now in my life, everything's pretty much dying around me, like in my yard, because it's so dry. And I can't really water anything because I don't know how much water's in our well, so I'm like definitely in conservation mode. So like I might have to go out and look for the magnificence in the tiny flowers that are being resilient anyways, like the marshmallow root. Really not like look at the surroundings, but tune and focus and zone into the tiniest details. So sometimes if the grand scheme of things, sorry for lack of magnificence, but if the grand scheme of things sucks ass, like go smaller, go minute, go like microscopic, go to the little things. So it's like, yeah, if everything just looks like ugh, like can we get lost in an oracle card? Can we get lost in the artwork? Can we work with maybe some brightly colored, beautiful fabric, right? So even if you're like sitting in a house that's basically a shack, can you create something with color? Can you do a little painting or do some embroidery or stitching? Like I feel like that might be like one way if you really are like, oh my God, like magnificence, you dummy. Like, do you not have eyes to see what I live in? Have you not been to my dungeon basement? Like, we don't magnificence around here. Like, we just survive around here. Like, okay, so it's like you're going to have to find this vibration, this frequency, this experience of magnificence in something smaller, in something that you can focus on and block out the rest of the world. So whether that's downloading a beautiful app on your phone or painting your nails or getting lost in the details of the pure genius of the flower, right? So pick a flower, have a flower, and look into it and just appreciate it. Even if the foliage is all dead on the plant, if there's one flower that's hanging on and it's still beautiful, focus in on that magnificence just to reacquaint yourself with its glory, just to reacquaint yourself with the impressively beautiful, elaborate, extravagant, and striking features that it really does have. So anyways, this card certainly challenges us to determine what it means to live a majestic life. And then it's going to challenge us after we decide what that might be or be drawn to that energy to actively go out and live it. So how can we live more fully and more marvelously? Well, we can do the small things and the large that will bring us to magnificent. And we cannot have any care for what others think. So if I'm out there standing in the yard staring at a plant for 20 minutes because I'm trying to be reminded what magnificence is, I really cannot give one flippin' hoot what my dumbass neighbors think, who in their own right are living their magnificent life. So they are living life fully. They are blasting their music. They're blaring their ghetto music, and they are running around in their swimming suits, even though they are not bikini models, and they don't care because they are feeling magnificent over there. And so God bless them for it. And I should actually use them as my role models. I should actually use them as my role models because they don't care what I think. So anyways, that's magnificence. Incorporate more of what you feel to be glorious into your daily life, so that your life is not just great, but magnificent. So get on out there and live your life gloriously and magnificently. And I'm going to go harvest that comfrey like I said. I'm going to record a Daniel Scranton reading of his channeling. I'm going to get more magnificent in my own way by maybe putting on a t-shirt that smells better than this one. I'm going to repeat my affirmations that I've been blessed with. I have wonderful projects in a wonderful way. I give wonderful entertainment for wonderful pay. I really am trying to climb out of my darkness, and I appreciate Black Kohash and Kali Ma helping me with that this week. And I really appreciate the Bird of Paradise and the Common Mother of Pearl for coming in today to just kind of, show me another way, another way of living more fully, more marvelously. It could be small things, it could be large things, but we really do need to incorporate more of what we feel to be glorious in our everyday life without giving a hoot or a flip or a flying fuck what anyone else thinks. So take time today to ask yourself, what ways are you magnificent and what can you do magnificently, and manifest more of that in your life. Yes, my love, manifest more magnificence.